here on one of our affiliates. Hi, I'm Steve Tomaszewski with the Soldiers Family TV and Radio Talk Show. I'd like to introduce our co-host tonight, Antony Van Zale. Am I saying that right?
Close enough.
Okay. And what's nice is that we're on a clip and going around the world tonight. We just had a chance to meet up here in Wheeling, Illinois, and just go through it. The number one question out there is, what is a soft switch, and how easy or how hard is it to create a show like this? And tonight, for the next few minutes, get out a pen and paper, and we're going to be showing you some great ideas of how to do your own show. So, Antony, take it away. What is a soft switch, audio and video? Go ahead.
Well, basically, what's happened in the last few years is that room full of equipment that broadcast companies used to use, whether it was a radio or a television production company, has been completely replaced. And it comes all the way down to a laptop. Now your audio feeds, your video feeds, your switching systems so that switches you from camera to camera or microphone to microphone is all reduced to one laptop. Not only is it a tremendous convenience having just one person that can operate everything, it's also a phenomenal cost differentiator. You know, everybody thinks of creating television. Way too expensive. You can't do it. It's astronomical. Thing is, it's not. It has changed completely. We now have in a standard laptop a webcam with a Carl Zeiss lens that can do high definition imagery, things that they couldn't do in the movies 8 years ago, that television is only just beginning to do. And there's still many shows that are produced in SD definition. It's all on the computer. And that reduction in cost means that anyone can now become a producer, a star, a host.
One of the great, thank you, and you know, it doesn't have to be that fancy, but one of the things we're going to tell you to start with is be consistent. There are hundreds, there are thousands. This is being broadcast on Blog Talk Radio, and shout out to Amy Domestico in New Jersey. We love your switch. Hi, Amy. And there's Livestream, and there's Ustream, and there's Tata, and there's High Winds, and there's Duckcast, and all the crazy stuff out there. But what happens at the very end is that when people start seeing these costs of running a video switch, okay, or let's just go back to the radio switch here, Blog Talk Radio. It's free for 30 minutes a day. And then people go, oh, it's free, and then I'll just get sponsors. It really doesn't work like that because, you know, we know hundreds of people who've tried this. This is our coming up to our 400th show. We do have sponsors, SchaumburgHondaAutos.com. Hi, Ryan, the Bob Rarman Auto Dealership Group. You know, you've got to be consistent. So our first tip of the day here for you is pick one day a month to do your show and do it well. What would you say to that, Antony?
Absolutely. You need to do something that you're passionate about. You need to do something that you know what you're doing. And here's another major difference. On the internet, people find you. You don't have to find them. You think of traditional radio, television, movies. When they create a program, they have to advertise the hell out of it. They got to put out there because they get as many people to come to them as possible. When you go to the internet, when you open your web browser, what's the first thing you do?
Well, I go to see what time and temperature is.
Well, most people actually go to a search engine, Google, and you type in, I want to know more about quilting. And let's say you're doing a quilting show. So someone's going to type in quilting. They're going to find out that, oh, look, there's a television show or a radio program about quilting. It's what I'm interested in. I'm going to go and listen to it.
You had a great example the other day about creating a show and then maybe charging like iTunes 99 cents to watch it, and which is a revenue stream. And you got to be careful, though, because as soon as you put your hand out to say, hey, I'm an expert at it and you should pay me because I know what I'm talking about, the other person watching your show probably knows 100 times more than you, just like Antony. That's why he's the tech guy here. And the logic is, you know, we always believe in give away as much information as you can, and it will come back to you, just like this right now. Go to blogtalkradio.com, get a free show. There you go. Never heard of it. They got 400,000 shows. But let me tell you something. The Soldiers Family TV and Radio Talk Show started a year and a half ago, and today we are ranked number 19 of all their shows in the military category. In less than a year and a half, over 110,000 listeners and viewers combined on sftvr.com, ReallaTV, and several shows. So you have to be consistent. Number one tip, do it right the first time.
Well, and also make sure you know what you're talking about, that you care about it. The other thing that I keep telling people is we got to remember the audience that we're dealing with. It's no longer a local audience. It's no longer even a regional or a national audience. It's a global audience. The internet has no boundaries. The best example I can use is a group of ladies out of Portland, Oregon. I absolutely love the story. They started a couple of years back a website that's paid $10 a month. It's all about quilting. Now, who would think, how many people are interested in quilting? These three ladies, not one of them is less than 60 years old, have 250,000 monthly subscribers at $10 a piece.
Well, we want to do your show. I mean, and here's what's funny about it, because you have to hit a price point. Number 2 tip, hit a price point. And, our subscriber rate, which launches next year now, we've managed to give away close to 200-300 shows. For every paid show we have, we give away a free show to a charity or a military support group. But starting in January, one of our basis revenue models is $9.11, 911, never forget 911, $9.11 a year. Now you're saying a month. Well, but it doesn't matter, right?
Well, you see, they've got a very specific audience that's been built on their newsletter that they've built over years. So they've simply adapted technology, and right now we're talking about creating a television show for them once a week, and it'll fit right into this platform that they're using. But the key here is they were doing what they loved. They were swapping patterns, talking to other enthusiasts in quilting, and from that they've built this. Now, everybody out there is an expert in something. They have a passion for something. That's where you start. Because if you try and go out there and make a business of it, you've got to understand the mechanics behind business. But if you go out there and you start a radio program, a TV program about something that you truly care about, people will come to recognize what you like, that you care about it, and they will start watching you. As you grow your audience, as you grow your capabilities, then you can start looking for sponsors. Then you can start looking for advertisers. Then you can start looking for this as a business.
And we see people every day, and I have friends who've said, Steve, this is simple. They've spun off. They started themselves. 2 months later, they're burned out and they're gone. Okay, it's almost impossible. Even Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Fallon, they're not there every night. Okay, there's only so much that you can talk and people will want to listen. So, okay, our number 2 that we're going to here, number 1, remember, blogtalkradio.com to start. You can do the YouTube thing. But number 2, I'm really feeling that once a month is a good show that you can build around and expand from 1 hour to 2 hours versus every night. And I see that common mistake every day. They go to Blog Talk Radio. They're doing a show every night at 9:30 at night about, and they're talking about stuff that has nothing to do with their topic. So, to go to there. Number 3, and I know Antony is on his way to another meeting today. What one technical aspect of the business? Now here we have a real nice laptop, that we bought. You have the Mac, the Apple. Let's go from a technical side of this now. When people are looking for equipment, is there anything specific in a laptop or a camera? You talked about this briefly about the Zeiss camera that are out there. Is there anything particular in a website, in a laptop that they should be looking for?
Actually, today's laptops and a good portion of the tablets that are available, iPad 2, iPad 3, or iPad 3, or the new Microsoft Slate tablets, have the capability of doing this. In fact, even a lot of telephones now can do it.
Yes.
But the one thing that you can't compromise on, the one thing that is absolutely vital, and you have it here, good audio.
There you go. And you see we're actually using let me show you that. Can you see that? And you can watch it on the side. We bought a brand new, I'll say it, Sennheiser out there, and it was less than this, and I was shocked. And I put a lot of money into that thing, and I'm like, you're kidding me. And I was down at the Union League Club when we were there, and I'm like, it's not doing it. I had to plug in. So I'm laughing. Plus, I use my cell phone.
But that is a critical element, because your video is forgivable. But if you can't hear, you don't have anywhere to go.
Okay, so get a good microphone.
Get a good microphone, and you can build from that. And another good piece of advice, you said it, start once a month. That's a great time. It gives you time to learn, gives you time to build, but also start small. You don't have to come out and do the Tonight Show every night. Start with a 5-minute show. Start with a 10-minute show. Get used to doing it. Build on that. You can always get bigger with your audience. But I promise you, if you start big and get small on them, they're going to really dislike you.
Well, we see that all the time too. Thank you. Is that people say, "Hey, guess what? I have a friend. He owns this big business, and they're going to pay me to do my radio or TV show because that's it." What do you think your best friend who owns a business, and let's just say we have a friend who owns a sign company, okay, and he's looking for the biggest exposure that he can get. Where do you think he or she is looking when they go to spend their money? Number one, Google AdWords, right? Right. Number two, they're going to look in the local newspaper. That's where all their clients are coming from within a 5 mile radius. Now you're talking to them about global. Okay, so he really wants to sell his signs to somebody in Singapore. Well, it's possible, but you get lost in the technology. So what Antony just said is so true. Start small, build it, because guess what, what I learned from Bob Parsons at GoDaddy? You'll like this. You can't say 1 million. Don't say a damn word. So, people are going, "Oh, this is great, and I'm doing it, and I know what I'm talking about, and, this is going to get you so much business." And when they start tracking you into conversion, just like pay-per-click and CPM, all the other great words that are out there, okay, they're going to say, "Good, I paid you $500 or $1,000. Where's my sales?"
Right. And you simply can't use internet economics when you're starting out. If you put a show up on YouTube, they will not come. You're going to put something there, and you're not going to suddenly have 10 million people viewing it. That happens once in every 100,000 videos. There are companies that are spending tens of thousands of dollars a month to try and get people to watch their video, and they're still not doing it. Now, a viral video is something totally different, and you cannot create a viral. I love hearing this. I go to so many meetings, and they say, "We want you to create a viral video for us."
Yeah, okay.
The whole thing about virality is you cannot create it. It happens spontaneously. But what you can do is build a following. And when I say you start small, start slow, do it easy, build it week by week, month by month, and that's where you'll start getting people going, I really like that show. I'll come back and watch it next time. I'm going to tell my friend about it. I'm going to tell my mom about it.
And even shows like MASH and Friends had all crashed and burned, and it took years for them to get to that part. And people go, "Well, I can do that. Their show's about nothing." Well, that's not true. I'm showing it right now. Let me describe to you what I'm showing Antony. And we're actually in a live screen reporting system, and we're going to back this up to where we started, okay? And we started with 2 listeners way back here. We actually didn't kick off to here, but you can see. Let's update this real quick. And when I'm showing this to people, they're like, "Well, we were here." Well, now we're cruising up to 4,000 to 5,000 unique visitors per month. And but it started with 2, okay. And when you say 5,000 to people laugh, and they go, "Well, Steve, I saw the monkey on a skateboard, and he had 2 million. So you have a junk show." And I'm like, "Okay, excuse me. Can you imagine? These people are not on AM or FM. They're actually going to their browser, and they're looking for us. So they're seeking us out. 5,000 new people a month are saying, 'I heard about this.'" And so we're gaining slowly. So we're going back to your exact statement. We're coming up on the end of our video side. So number 3, doing it consistently, know what you're talking about, and build slowly. And the technology, there it is. Antony, good microphone.
A little bit of research, you'll find a ton of free tools available, whether it's sound or video. You start with a good microphone, and you just keep building on from that. And you're going to learn. And here's the thing. If you get stuck technologically, if you have a problem, find a local high school kid. They'll teach you.
Now, if they have a question for you, what is your website? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can go directly to our Facebook page. We use Facebook completely, and it's EGEN TV on EGEN TV on Facebook. Or you can just go to www.egen.tv, which will take you to the Facebook page.
Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. We know you've got to scoot, and we're going to, as we say, keep this short and brief. Tune in next month for part 2 of how to build your own radio and TV station with Anthony and Steve. We'll be right back with the Soldiers Family TV and radio talk show, How to Build a Soft Switch. Thanks for listening. Take a look at our new website, www.sftvr.com. We'll be right back.